When dealing with recurring patterns or challenges, ask questions that help you understand the deeper spiritual lessons involved. What is the root cause of my financial struggles? Might reveal limiting beliefs inherited from your family line. Why do I keep attracting partners who are emotionally unavailable? Could uncover past life wounds that need healing or soul contracts that need to be completed. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine walking into the most magnificent library you've ever seen. The shelves stretch infinitely upward, filled not with books, but with shimmering columns of light. Each beam contains the complete story of a soul's journey across countless lifetimes. Every thought, every emotion, every moment of growth and discovery preserved in pure energy. This isn't fantasy. This is the Akashic Records, and you're about to learn how to access your own cosmic library of wisdom. In our hyper-connected yet spiritually disconnected world, millions of people feel like they're living someone else's life, following scripts that don't match their soul's true calling. You might wake up each morning sensing there's something more, something deeper calling to you, but you can't quite grasp what it is. That restless feeling isn't coincidence. It's your soul trying to reconnect you with your authentic path. The Akashic Records hold the answer to every question you've ever had about your purpose, your relationships, your challenges, and your gifts. They're not mystical fairy tales reserved for a chosen few. They're your birthright, accessible to anyone willing to approach them with respect and genuine intention. Every soul that has ever existed has these records, and yours contain the blueprint for why you're here and what you came to accomplish. By the time we finish this journey together, you'll understand exactly what the Akashic Records are and why they matter in your daily life. You'll learn the specific steps to safely access your own records, how to interpret the guidance you receive, and most importantly, how to apply this ancient wisdom to create positive changes right now. Think of this as your personal guidebook to the most important conversation you'll ever have, the one with your own soul. Chapter 1. The Cosmic Library. Understanding the Akashic Records. Have you ever experienced déjà vu so strong it took your breath away? Or met someone and felt like you'd known them for lifetimes? What you experienced was a glimpse into the Akashic Records. A momentary access to information your soul already knows, but your conscious mind had forgotten. The word Akasha comes from Sanskrit, meaning ether or space, the fifth element that permeates everything in existence. But these aren't dusty archives sitting somewhere in the clouds. The Akashic Records exist as a vibrational field, an energetic frequency that transcends our normal understanding of time and space. Every action, thought, and emotional impulse leaves an energy trail, an imprint on the cosmic ocean, just like a boat creates a wake as it moves through water. Think of the records as the ultimate cloud storage system, but instead of storing photos and documents, they contain the complete energetic signature of every soul's experience across all dimensions of existence. While we often imagine them as books or scrolls because that's how our minds process information, they're actually pure consciousness, living energy that responds to our questions and intentions. Unlike a physical library where books remain static, your Akashic Records are dynamic and alive. They're constantly being written as you make choices, learn lessons, and grow spiritually. Every decision you make today becomes tomorrow's wisdom. Every challenge you overcome adds another page to your soul's magnificent story. What makes this even more remarkable is that your records aren't isolated. They're interconnected with the records of every soul you've ever encountered, creating an infinite web of shared experiences and collective wisdom. When you access your records, you're not just reading your own story. You're connecting with the universal consciousness that links all of creation. The beauty of understanding the records this way is that it removes any sense of judgment or predetermined fate. Your records show you the themes your soul chose to explore, the lessons you came to learn, and the gifts you came to share, but they also reveal the infinite possibilities available to you in each moment. They're not a script you must follow. They're a resource you can use to make more conscious, aligned choices. Chapter 2. The Soul's Journey, Your Spiritual Blueprint. Before you took your first breath in this lifetime, your soul was already an experienced traveler, having journeyed through dimensions of existence beyond our current understanding. Your soul didn't randomly tumble into this life. It made deliberate choices about when, where, and how to incarnate based on what it needed to learn and contribute. Picture your soul as a spark of divine light that emanated from source consciousness with its own unique frequency and purpose. Like a master artist selecting the perfect canvas and colors for their next masterpiece, your soul carefully chose the circumstances of this lifetime to create optimal conditions for growth and service. This selection process involves choosing your parents, your family dynamics, your cultural background, and even the challenges you'd face. This might sound impossible to believe, especially if you've experienced difficult family relationships or traumatic circumstances. But from a soul's perspective, these experiences aren't punishments. They're carefully selected learning laboratories designed to help you develop specific qualities like compassion, resilience, forgiveness, or courage. Your soul also chose to incarnate at this particular time in human history because there are collective lessons humanity is learning, and your unique gifts are needed to help with this global transformation. You're not here by accident. You're here because your soul recognized that this era would provide exactly the right conditions for your continued evolution. Understanding this soul-level planning doesn't mean you're destined to suffer or that you have no free will. Quite the opposite. It means you're a powerful co-creator who chose this life's circumstances as the perfect backdrop for expressing your highest potential. Every challenge becomes an opportunity. Every relationship becomes a chance to practice unconditional love, and every choice becomes a moment to align more fully with your soul's purpose. Your Akashic records contain the complete details of this pre-life planning session, including the specific lessons you chose to focus on, the gifts you came to develop and share, and the souls you agreed to journey with as family, friends, teachers, and even those who would challenge you to grow. When you access these records, you begin to see your life not as a series of random events, but as a perfectly orchestrated spiritual curriculum designed by your own soul's wisdom. Chapter 3. Your Spiritual Support Team, Guides and Gatekeepers. You've never walked this path alone, though you might sometimes feel like you have. At the moment your soul was created, a team of highly evolved spiritual beings was assigned to guide, protect, and support you throughout all of your lifetimes. These aren't distant, impersonal entities. They're loving presences who know your soul intimately and are completely dedicated to your highest good. Your spiritual team includes your spirit guides, ascended masters, angels, and your own higher self. The part of you that remains connected to source consciousness even while you're incarnated in physical form. Think of them as your personal board of directors, each bringing unique wisdom and perspectives to help you navigate your soul's journey. When it comes to accessing your Akashic records, your guides serve as gatekeepers, carefully filtering the vast amount of information available to ensure you receive only what's helpful and appropriate for your current level of understanding. The records contain everything, every thought, every emotion, every experience across all lifetimes. So without this loving guidance, the sheer volume of information could be overwhelming. Your guides act as translators, taking the pure energy and consciousness of the records and presenting it to you in ways your human mind can comprehend. They might show you symbolic images, give you sudden insights, create emotional experiences that convey deep truths, or simply download knowledge directly into your awareness. The form doesn't matter. What matters is that the information comes through in a way that serves your growth and healing. These spiritual beings also provide protection during your record sessions, ensuring that you're surrounded by the highest vibrations of love and light. This protection isn't just energetic, it's also practical, helping you discern between authentic record information and your own mental chatter or wishful thinking. Different guides specialize in different areas of your life and growth. Some focus on your spiritual development, others on your relationships, career, health, or creative expression. You might work primarily with one main guide, who feels like a constant companion, or you might connect with different guides depending on what guidance you're seeking. The beautiful truth is that your guides have been with you all along, subtly influencing your decisions, sending you signs and synchronicities, and celebrating your victories. Learning to consciously connect with them through your Akashic records simply makes this relationship more direct and interactive, allowing you to receive clearer guidance and feel more supported in your daily life. Chapter 4. The Sacred Gateway. Preparation and Protection. Approaching the Akashic records is like entering the holiest temple you can imagine. It requires reverence, respect, and proper preparation. While the records are always available to you, creating the right conditions ensures you'll receive clear, helpful guidance while maintaining your energetic safety and spiritual integrity. The foundation of accessing your records begins with your intention. Before you even attempt to connect, spend time clarifying why you want to access this sacred information. Are you seeking healing from past wounds? Do you need guidance about a relationship or career decision? Are you trying to understand a recurring pattern in your life? The clearer your intention, the more focused and helpful the guidance you'll receive. Creating sacred space is essential for maintaining the proper frequency for record access. This doesn't require elaborate rituals or expensive tools. It simply means establishing an environment that supports spiritual connection. Choose a quiet space where you won't be interrupted, perhaps light a candle or burn some sage or incense, and spend a few moments centering yourself through deep breathing or meditation. Prayer is one of the most powerful tools for preparing to access your records. This doesn't have to follow any particular religious tradition. It's simply a way of acknowledging the sacred nature of what you're about to do and inviting divine guidance and protection. You might say something like, "I ask for the highest guidance for my greatest good, and I request that only beings of the purest love and light be present during this session." Energetic protection is crucial because you're opening yourself to spiritual dimensions that exist beyond the physical realm. Visualize yourself surrounded by bright white or golden light, creating a protective bubble that allows only loving, helpful energy to reach you. You can also call upon your spiritual guides and angels to surround and protect you throughout the session. Grounding yourself ensures you'll remain stable and centered during your record session and afterward. Simple grounding techniques include feeling your connection to the earth, eating something after your session, or doing gentle physical movement to help integrate the energy you've received. Remember that accessing the Akashic records is a privilege, not a right. Approach them with humility, gratitude, and respect for the sacred nature of the information you're about to receive. This reverent attitude not only ensures clearer communication, but also helps maintain the high vibration necessary for authentic record access. Chapter 5. Opening the records, prayer, frequency, and connection. The moment has arrived to step through the veil between the physical and spiritual worlds and connect directly with your soul's eternal wisdom. Opening the Akashic records requires specific techniques that have been used for thousands of years, refined by countless seekers who have walked this path before you. The most reliable method for accessing your records involves using your full birth name as an energetic access code. Your name isn't just a label. It carries a unique vibrational frequency that your soul chose before incarnation. When spoken with intention and reverence, your complete birth name acts like a key that unlocks your specific records from the infinite cosmic library. Begin by stating your full name exactly as it appears on your birth certificate, along with your birth date and time if you know it. Say something like, "I ask to access the Akashic records of your full birth name, born on date and time." This precise identification ensures you're accessing your own records and not inadvertently connecting with someone else's information. The power of sound frequency cannot be overstated in this process. The ancients understood that specific vibrations create bridges between dimensions, and your voice carries the unique frequency signature of your soul. As you speak these opening words, you're not just reciting information. You're creating a vibrational pathway that connects your conscious awareness with your soul's eternal wisdom. Some practitioners describe feeling an energetic line of connection that extends from Earth to the Pleiades star cluster, a cosmic pathway that facilitates record access. While this might sound fantastical, many report sensing this connection as a gentle pulling sensation or a feeling of expansion beyond their physical body. There are several ways the records might communicate with you once you've established connection. You might receive visual images, hear words or phrases, feel emotional responses, or simply know information without understanding how you know it. Don't expect dramatic visions or supernatural phenomena. Often the guidance comes as subtle impressions that feel like your own thoughts, but carry wisdom beyond your usual perspective. As you practice opening your records, pay attention to how the information feels different from your normal mental chatter. Record guidance typically feels calm, loving, and expansive, while mental noise tends to be anxious, repetitive, or limiting. Trust this feeling sense as much as any specific information you receive. Remember that building this connection is a skill that develops over time. Your first few attempts might feel unclear or uncertain, and that's completely normal. Like learning any new language, fluency in communicating with your records develops through patient, consistent practice. Trust the process, stay open to receiving guidance in unexpected ways, and know that your soul is always ready to share its wisdom when you're ready to listen. The gateway is now open, and your soul's eternal library awaits your questions. Step forward with confidence, knowing that the answers you seek have been there all along, just waiting for you to remember how to access them. Chapter 6, The Language of the Soul, Interpreting Record Information. Maria sits quietly in her meditation space, having just opened her Akashic records using the prayer method she learned. Suddenly, she sees a vivid image of a butterfly emerging from its cocoon, feels a warm sensation spreading through her chest, and somehow just knows this relates to a major life transition she's been avoiding. But then doubt creeps in. Was that really guidance from her records, or just her imagination creating pretty pictures? This confusion between authentic spiritual communication and mental chatter is exactly what stops most people from trusting the profound wisdom available through their Akashic records. Learning to interpret the language of your records is like becoming fluent in your soul's native tongue. Unlike human communication that relies primarily on words, the Akashic records transmit information through a rich tapestry of symbols, feelings, visions, direct knowing, and energetic impressions that speak directly to your consciousness. Understanding these different communication styles is essential for receiving clear, actionable guidance from your records. Visual communication often arrives as symbolic images rather than literal pictures. You might see a tree when your records want to convey information about growth, stability, or your roots. An eagle could represent the need for a higher perspective on your situation, while a bridge might indicate you're in a transition period between two phases of your life. These symbols are personally meaningful to you, drawn from your own life experiences, cultural background, and spiritual understanding. The key with visual information is recognizing that your records rarely communicate in literal terms. If you see yourself in a white dress, it probably doesn't mean you should go shopping for white clothing. Instead, white typically represents purity, new beginnings, or spiritual clarity. Your records might be showing you that you're entering a phase of spiritual purification or that you need to approach a situation with a clean slate. Some people receive information primarily through auditory channels, hearing words, phrases, or even full sentences that seem to arise from nowhere. This guidance often feels different from your normal inner dialogue. It tends to be more compassionate, wise, and expansive than your usual mental chatter. You might hear something like, "Trust the process," when you're feeling anxious about a life change, or "Look deeper," when you're struggling to understand a relationship dynamic. Kinesthetic or feeling-based communication manifests as physical sensations, emotional waves, or energy movements in your body. You might feel warmth when your records are confirming something positive, or experience a sense of constriction when they're indicating something isn't in your highest good. Some people feel tingling, pressure, or even pain in specific areas of their body when their records are drawing attention to energetic blockages or areas that need healing attention. Perhaps the most common form of record communication is claircognizance, or direct knowing. Information simply appears in your awareness as if you're remembering something you'd temporarily forgotten. You suddenly understand why a certain pattern keeps repeating in your life, or you gain clarity about your next steps without being able to explain how you know. This knowing often comes with a deep sense of recognition and truth that feels unmistakable once you experience it. One of the biggest challenges in interpreting record information is distinguishing between authentic guidance and your own mental projections. Authentic record information typically feels calm, loving, and expansive, even when it's addressing challenging topics. Mental chatter, on the other hand, tends to be anxious, repetitive, judgmental, or limiting. Your records will never shame you, criticize your choices, or make you feel fearful about your path. Authentic guidance also has a quality of detachment. It feels loving but not emotionally charged in the way your personal desires or fears might be. If you're hoping for a specific answer about whether to leave your job, and you receive information that seems to confirm what you want to hear, pause and check whether this feels like genuine guidance or wishful thinking. Having a frame of reference for interpretation is crucial for understanding what your records are trying to communicate. This means developing your own personal symbol dictionary based on your life experiences, spiritual practices, and cultural background. Keep a journal of the symbols, sensations, and messages you receive, noting what they seem to mean in context. Over time, you'll begin to recognize your record's unique communication style. The same symbol might mean different things to different people, or even different things to you at different times in your life. A snake might represent transformation and healing for someone drawn to shamanic practices, but could indicate deception or hidden dangers for someone with different associations. Trust your first instinct about what symbols mean to you personally rather than relying on universal interpretation guides. Context is everything when interpreting record information. The same image of water could represent emotional healing if you've been dealing with grief, the need for purification if you've been feeling spiritually stagnant, or going with the flow if you've been trying to control outcomes too tightly. Pay attention to what's happening in your life when you receive specific guidance. Your records are always responding to your current needs and circumstances. Practice developing your interpretation skills by working with simple, everyday situations before tackling major life decisions. Ask your records for guidance about small choices and notice how the information comes through. This builds your confidence and helps you recognize your record's communication patterns without the pressure of making big decisions based on unclear guidance. Remember that interpretation skills develop over time through consistent practice and patient attention to how your records communicate with you specifically. Don't expect to become fluent immediately. Like learning any new language, developing your ability to understand record communication requires dedication and gentle persistence. Chapter 7. The Art of Sacred Inquiry, Asking Powerful Questions. James has been trying to access his Akashic records for months, but every time he asks, "Will I ever find true love?" he either receives no clear answer or gets confusing, contradictory information. What James doesn't realize is that his question itself is creating the problem. The quality of the questions you ask your records directly determines the quality of the guidance you receive, and learning to formulate powerful, expansive questions is one of the most important skills for successful record work. The Akashic records respond to the energy and intention behind your questions, not just the words themselves. When you ask limiting questions that can be answered with simple yes or no responses, you're essentially asking your infinite, wise records to reduce cosmic wisdom into oversimplified answers that rarely serve your highest good. The records prefer to provide guidance that helps you understand the deeper patterns and possibilities available to you. Instead of asking, "Should I leave my job?" try asking, "What do I need to understand about my current work situation?" Or, "How can I align more fully with my soul's purpose through my career?" These expansive questions invite your records to share the wisdom, perspective, and options that will truly serve your growth and happiness. The principle of specific questions yielding specific answers is fundamental to effective record work. Vague questions like, "What do I need to know?" might overwhelm you with too much information or provide guidance that's too general to be helpful. More focused questions like, "What pattern am I repeating in my relationships that keeps creating conflict?" Or "What gifts from past lifetimes can I access to help with my current creative project?" Give your records a clear framework for providing targeted, actionable guidance. Avoid time-specific or fortune-telling questions because time isn't linear inside the records. Questions like, "When will I meet my soulmate?" or "What will happen in 2025?" don't align with how the records operate. Since you're co-creating your reality with the universe moment by moment, there's no predetermined future that can be predicted with certainty. Instead, ask, "What qualities should I develop to attract my ideal partner?" Or "How can I best prepare for the opportunities coming my way?" Questions that begin with "should" often stem from a desire to avoid personal responsibility for your choices. Your records want to empower you, not make decisions for you. Rather than asking, "Should I move to a new city?" try, "What would serve my highest good regarding this potential move?" Or "What fears or limiting beliefs might be influencing my decision about relocating?" The most powerful record questions start with words like "what," "how," or "why" because they invite expansive, insightful responses. What does my soul try to learn through this challenging relationship? Opens the door for deep understanding about your spiritual curriculum. How can I release the fear that's blocking my creative expression? Invites practical guidance for healing and growth. Why does this particular situation trigger such strong emotions in me? Can reveal past life connections or ancestral patterns that need attention. When asking about relationships, focus on your own growth and understanding rather than trying to get information about other people. What am I meant to learn from my relationship with my mother? Is more appropriate than, "What is my mother thinking about our relationship?" Your records can share information about your soul contracts and lessons with others, but they won't violate another person's privacy or free will. For questions about your life purpose and spiritual path, be specific about what aspect you want to explore. Instead of the broad, "What's my purpose?" try, "What unique gifts am I here to develop and share?" Or "How does my current life situation support my soul's evolution?" Or "What aspects of my purpose am I not yet expressing fully?" When dealing with recurring patterns or challenges, ask questions that help you understand the deeper spiritual lessons involved. What is the root cause of my financial struggles? Might reveal limiting beliefs inherited from your family line. Why do I keep attracting partners who are emotionally unavailable? Could uncover past life wounds that need healing or soul contracts that need to be completed. Health-related questions should focus on the energetic and spiritual aspects rather than seeking medical diagnosis. Ask, "What emotional or spiritual factors are contributing to my physical symptoms?" Or, "How can I support my body's natural healing process?" Always work with qualified healthcare professionals for medical concerns while using your records for the spiritual and energetic components of healing. For creative projects and career guidance, ask questions that help you align with your authentic expression. What creative gifts from other lifetimes can I access for this project? Or, how can I best serve others through my work? Invite your records to share resources and perspectives that support your soul's authentic expression. Craft your questions with genuine curiosity and openness to receiving guidance that might surprise you. Sometimes the most helpful information comes when your records address something you hadn't thought to ask about. Be willing to follow the thread of information they provide, asking follow-up questions that deepen your understanding. Practice formulating questions that assume your records have infinite wisdom to share rather than limiting them to confirming what you already think you know. Instead of, "Is my intuition correct about this situation?" ask, "What do I need to understand about this situation that I might not be seeing clearly?" This invites your records to provide a broader perspective that includes both confirmation and additional insights. Remember that you can always ask for clarification if the initial guidance feels unclear. "Can you help me understand what this symbol means?" Or "How does this guidance apply to my current situation?" are perfectly appropriate follow-up questions that help ensure you're interpreting the information correctly. Chapter 8. Soul Lessons and Life Purposes. your spiritual curriculum. Rebecca couldn't understand why she kept attracting the same type of challenging boss in every job she took, despite choosing different industries and company cultures. Each supervisor seemed to trigger the same feelings of powerlessness and frustration that she'd felt as a child with her controlling father. When she finally accessed her Akashic records to ask about this pattern, she discovered that developing healthy boundaries and personal authority was one of her soul's primary lessons for this lifetime. And every difficult boss was actually a teacher helping her practice this essential skill. Your soul didn't incarnate randomly into this lifetime without a plan. Like a master's student enrolling in the perfect university program, your soul carefully selected the experiences, relationships, and challenges of this life to provide optimal learning opportunities for its continued evolution. Your Akashic records contain the complete curriculum your soul designed, including the specific lessons you came to master, the gifts you came to develop, and the service you came to provide to the collective human experience. Understanding your soul's learning objectives transforms everything about how you perceive your life experiences. Suddenly, your most challenging relationships become sacred classrooms. Your deepest struggles become opportunities for spiritual growth, and your natural talents become gifts you're meant to develop and share with the world. This perspective doesn't minimize the real pain of difficult experiences, but it provides a framework for finding meaning and purpose in everything you encounter. Souls typically focus on several core lessons during each incarnation, though these lessons can manifest in countless variations throughout your life. Some souls are mastering forgiveness, which might show up as opportunities to forgive family members, former partners, colleagues, and ultimately themselves. Others are learning about healthy boundaries, attracting situations that require them to practice saying no, standing up for themselves, or protecting their energy from those who would drain it. Compassion is another common soul lesson that can manifest through caring for others, healing work, or learning to extend kindness to those who have hurt you. Leadership lessons often present themselves through opportunities to guide others, make difficult decisions, or take responsibility for group outcomes. Trust and faith lessons might involve financial challenges that require you to believe in your ability to provide for yourself, or health situations that ask you to trust your body's healing wisdom. The lesson of self-love frequently appears for souls who came from difficult family situations or experienced early trauma. Learning to value themselves, speak kindly to themselves, and prioritize their own well-being becomes a lifelong practice that transforms not only their own experience, but often heals ancestral patterns of self-rejection or self-harm. Recognizing your karma patterns helps you understand why certain types of experiences keep repeating in your life. These aren't punishment from past lifetimes, but rather opportunities to approach similar situations with greater wisdom, compassion, and conscious choice. If you repeatedly find yourself in relationships where you lose your identity trying to please others, your soul might be working to master the lesson of maintaining authentic self-expression within intimate partnerships. Past life influences often explain seemingly irrational fears, instant talents, or inexplicable attractions to certain time periods, cultures, or activities. Someone with an intense fear of water might have drowned in a previous incarnation and chosen to work with this fear in the current lifetime. A person who naturally understands ancient healing practices might be accessing knowledge developed through lifetimes of study in mystery schools or healing temples. Your records can reveal how current challenges directly relate to your soul's growth objectives. Financial struggles might be helping you develop resourcefulness, creativity, and trust in the universe's ability to provide. Relationship conflicts could be teaching you communication skills, emotional intelligence, or the ability to maintain your truth while staying connected to others. Health challenges often serve as catalysts for developing deeper self-awareness, lifestyle changes, or spiritual practices that support your overall evolution. The concept of soul service reveals how your personal growth serves the larger human collective. As you heal your own patterns of fear, you make it easier for others to release their fears. When you learn to love yourself unconditionally, You radiate a frequency that helps others remember their own worthiness. Your individual healing becomes a gift to everyone around you and to future generations who will benefit from the patterns you've transformed. Identifying your soul's areas of study helps you understand what knowledge and skills you're meant to develop in this lifetime. Some souls are studying the arts, learning to channel divine creativity through music, writing, visual arts, or performance. Others are focused on healing work, developing abilities to facilitate physical, emotional, or spiritual healing for themselves and others. Scientific or technological study might be the path for souls working to bridge spiritual wisdom with practical innovations that benefit humanity. Teaching and communication often emerge as sole purposes for those who came to share specific knowledge or perspectives with others. This doesn't necessarily mean formal education. You might teach through your example, your creative work, your healing practice, or simply through the conversations you have with others throughout your daily life. Understanding your spiritual curriculum also reveals the gifts and talents you brought from other lifetimes that are ready to be activated in your current experience. Perhaps you were a healer in ancient Egypt, and those skills are available to support your work as a modern therapist or energy worker. Maybe you were a scholar in medieval monasteries, and that love of learning can enhance your current educational or research pursuits. Your records can show you how to align your daily choices with your soul's learning objectives, making your entire life a conscious spiritual practice. When you understand that your difficult colleague is helping you practice patience and compassion, you can approach those interactions with greater awareness and intention. When you recognize that your financial challenges are teaching you resourcefulness and trust, you can work with these lessons consciously rather than simply feeling victimized by circumstances. The beautiful truth is that your soul chose this lifetime's curriculum because it knew you were capable of mastering these lessons and making these contributions. Every challenge you face is matched by inner resources and external support designed to help you succeed. Your Akashic records contain not only the lessons you came to learn, but also the wisdom and guidance to help you learn them with grace, joy, and deep fulfillment. Chapter 9. Healing Through the Records, Releasing and Transforming. When Patricia first accessed her Akashic records, she was struggling with chronic anxiety that no amount of therapy or medication had been able to fully resolve. As her records opened, she saw an image of herself as a young woman in what appeared to be medieval times, hiding in a forest while soldiers searched for her family. The terror she felt in that vision was identical to the anxiety she experienced in her current life whenever she felt unsafe or uncertain. Through working with her records, Patricia was able to heal this ancient trauma and finally experience the peace she'd been seeking for decades. Healing through the Akashic records operates on a fundamentally different level than traditional therapeutic approaches. While conventional healing often focuses on managing symptoms or changing thought patterns, record healing addresses the energetic roots of issues that may span multiple lifetimes, involve ancestral patterns, or stem from soul-level agreements that are no longer serving your highest good. The simple act of connecting to your Akashic records allows you to access fifth-dimensional energy that is naturally healing and transformative. This high vibrational frequency begins shifting your energy field the moment you enter your records, often providing immediate relief from anxiety, depression, or emotional overwhelm. Many people report feeling more peaceful, centered, and optimistic after spending time in their records, even without focusing on specific healing intentions. Information itself becomes a powerful healing tool when received from your records. Understanding why you've been experiencing certain patterns often provides the clarity needed to finally release them. When you discover that your fear of abandonment stems from a past life where you lost your entire family to war, or that your money struggles are connected to a vow of poverty you took as a monk, this awareness gives you the power to consciously choose differently in your current lifetime. Your records can reveal the energetic origins of physical symptoms, emotional patterns, or life circumstances that seem to resist other forms of healing. Chronic pain might be connected to unresolved guilt from a past lifetime. Recurring relationship conflicts could stem from unfinished business with souls you've known across multiple incarnations. Financial blockages often trace back to ancestral beliefs about worthiness, scarcity, or the spiritual danger of having material abundance. Understanding multi-generational healing through your records opens up profound possibilities for transformation. Many of the patterns that feel most stuck in your life didn't originate with you. They've been passed down through your family line for generations. Your grandmother's unexpressed grief, your great-grandfather's war trauma, or your ancestral line's experience of religious persecution might be influencing your current emotional landscape. When you access your records to heal ancestral patterns, you're not only freeing yourself from inherited limitations, but also healing backwards and forwards through your family line. The clearing work you do can release your children and grandchildren from carrying these patterns forward, while also providing healing energy to your ancestors who originally experienced the trauma. Past life healing through the records often involves understanding and releasing karmic contracts or vows that no longer serve your soul's evolution. You might discover that chronic relationship difficulties stem from a past life betrayal that left you afraid to trust others completely. Financial struggles could be connected to lifetimes where you misused power or resources, leading your soul to create experiences of lack to develop humility and compassion. The healing process in your records often involves forgiveness work at the soul level. This isn't about condoning harmful behavior or forcing yourself to feel differently about past hurts. Instead, it's about releasing the energetic charge that keeps you connected to old wounds, freeing your energy to create new experiences. Soul-level forgiveness recognizes that all souls are on their own learning journeys, making choices from their current level of consciousness. Your record can guide you through specific techniques for releasing old energy patterns. You might be shown visualizations for cutting energetic cords with people or situations that drain your energy. Sometimes you'll receive guidance about physical actions to take, moving your body in certain ways, spending time in nature, or making changes to your living environment that support your healing process. Energy clearing in your records often involves working with your spiritual team to remove blockages, attachments, or interference that's affecting your well-being. Your guides can help clear your energy field of any foreign energies you've picked up from others, remove psychic cords that are draining your vitality, or dissolve limiting beliefs that are blocking your natural abundance. The records can also facilitate healing through grace, a divine dispensation that allows for instantaneous transformation without having to experience every detail of the original trauma. Sometimes your soul has learned the necessary lessons from difficult experiences and is ready to release the associated pain without further processing. Grace allows healing to occur quickly and gently when your consciousness is prepared to receive it. Integration is a crucial part of record healing that often gets overlooked. After receiving healing energy or information, you need to anchor these changes in your physical reality through conscious choices and actions. If your records showed you that people-pleasing patterns stem from past life persecution, you'll need to practice setting boundaries and expressing your truth in your current relationships to fully integrate this healing. Many people experience healing dreams, synchronicities, or shifts in their external circumstances after working with their records. These are signs that the healing energy is moving through your system and creating changes on multiple levels. Pay attention to these confirmations and trust that the healing process continues even after you've closed your records. Record healing often occurs in layers, with deeper levels of an issue being revealed and healed as you're ready to handle them. Don't expect one session to resolve patterns that have been active for lifetimes. Instead, approach record healing as an ongoing partnership with your soul's wisdom, allowing each session to reveal and heal whatever is most ready for transformation at that time. The ultimate goal of healing through your records isn't just personal peace and happiness, though these are wonderful benefits. The deeper purpose is aligning with your soul's authentic expression, so you can fulfill your purpose and serve the highest good of all. When you heal your own patterns, You contribute to the healing of the collective human consciousness, making it easier for everyone to evolve and awaken. Chapter 10. Living Your Truth, Integrating Akashic Wisdom. Tom spent years accessing his Akashic records and receiving profound insights about his life purpose, relationship patterns, and spiritual path. Yet somehow his daily life remained largely unchanged. He still felt stuck in an unfulfilling job, continued attracting the same types of problematic relationships, and struggled with the same fears and limitations he'd been trying to overcome. What Tom hadn't learned was that accessing wisdom from his records was only the first step. The real transformation happened when he applied this guidance to his everyday choices and actions. The true power of Akashic wisdom lies not in the mystical experience of accessing your records, but in how you integrate and apply the insights you receive to create positive changes in your physical reality. Without conscious integration, even the most profound spiritual experiences remain isolated moments of inspiration rather than catalysts for lasting transformation. Building a daily practice for staying connected to your records doesn't require hours of formal meditation or complex rituals. You can maintain this connection through simple, consistent practices that weave soul awareness into your everyday routine. Start each morning by setting an intention to remain open to guidance from your records throughout the day. Take a few moments to center yourself and ask what your soul most wants you to remember or focus on today. Throughout your day, treat your intuitive impulses as ongoing communication from your records. That sudden urge to call a friend, take a different route to work, or pause before making a decision might be your records guiding you toward opportunities, connections, or choices that serve your highest good. The more you honor these subtle promptings, the stronger your connection becomes. Creating an Akashic journal specifically for recording insights, synchronicities, and guidance helps you track patterns and see how your records are consistently communicating with you. Note not just the dramatic revelations from formal sessions, but also the small daily nudges, meaningful coincidences, and moments of clarity that arise in your regular life. Over time, you'll see how your records are constantly offering guidance through multiple channels. Learning to recognize your record's communication style in everyday situations empowers you to receive guidance without formal sessions. You might notice that you always feel expanded and energized when considering choices that align with your soul's path, while options that don't serve your highest good create feelings of constriction or resistance. Pay attention to how your body responds to different people, environments, and opportunities. Your physical sensations are often messages from your records. Developing decision-making processes that incorporate record guidance transforms your daily choices into conscious spiritual practice. Before making important decisions, take a moment to access your record's perspective. Ask what choice would serve your soul's growth, what option aligns with your highest good, or how each possibility might contribute to your life purpose. This doesn't mean avoiding practical considerations, but rather ensuring your decisions support both your human needs and your spiritual evolution. Creating action plans based on record insights helps bridge the gap between spiritual awareness and practical implementation. If your records reveal that you came to learn about healthy boundaries, identify specific situations where you can practice this lesson. Make concrete commitments to speak up when something doesn't feel right. Say no to requests that drain your energy, or ask for what you need in your relationships. When your records show you patterns that need healing, create supportive structures for transformation. If you discovered that perfectionism is blocking your creative expression, commit to practicing vulnerability by sharing your work before it feels ready. If your records revealed that financial fears stem from ancestral poverty consciousness, establish practices for experiencing abundance, even in small ways, to retrain your nervous system. Building confidence in following soul-level guidance often requires starting with low-risk situations where you can practice trusting your record's wisdom without major consequences. If your intuition suggests taking a new route to work, honor that guidance and notice what happens. When you feel called to strike up a conversation with a stranger, see where it leads. These small acts of trust build your faith in your record's reliability. Integrating record wisdom often means making changes that others might not understand. Friends and family who are accustomed to your old patterns might resist your growth or question your new choices. Prepare for this by strengthening your connection to your soul's truth and finding supportive community among others who honor spiritual growth and authentic living. Regular check-ins with your records help ensure you're staying aligned with your soul's evolving guidance. Life circumstances change, lessons are completed, and new growth opportunities emerge. What served your highest good 6 months ago might no longer be appropriate for your current phase of development. Monthly or quarterly sessions to review your direction and receive updated guidance keep you aligned with your soul's current priorities. Understanding that resistance often precedes breakthrough helps you navigate the challenges that arise when implementing record guidance. Your ego might create fear, doubt, or practical obstacles when you're moving toward greater authenticity and soul alignment. Rather than taking these challenges as signs you're on the wrong path, recognize them as natural parts of the transformation process and continue moving forward with faith and persistence. Learning to distinguish between your soul's guidance and social conditioning requires ongoing attention and practice. Your records will often guide you toward choices that don't fit conventional definitions of success or happiness. Trusting that your soul knows what's truly best for you, even when others disagree, is a crucial part of living your authentic truth. Creating accountability structures supports your commitment to implementing record guidance. Share your insights with trusted friends who support your spiritual growth. Work with a mentor or coach who understands spiritual transformation, or join a community of others who are also integrating their soul wisdom into daily life. Remember that integration is an ongoing process, not a destination. You will continue receiving new insights from your records throughout your life, and each level of growth opens up deeper possibilities for understanding and expression. Stay curious, patient, and compassionate with yourself as you learn to live from the wisdom of your soul rather than the limitations of your conditioned mind. As we reach the end of this journey into the Akashic records, you now possess the foundational knowledge and practical tools to begin your own exploration of this cosmic library of wisdom. You've learned that the Akashic records aren't mystical fairy tales, but rather an accessible dimension of consciousness that contains the complete story of your soul's journey across all lifetimes. Through proper preparation, respectful approach, and clear intention, these records become a reliable source of guidance for every aspect of your life. The path we've traveled together has taken you from understanding what the records are and how they function to the practical mechanics of accessing them safely and interpreting their guidance. You've discovered that your soul carefully planned this lifetime with specific lessons to learn, gifts to develop, and service to provide. Your spiritual support team stands ready to guide and protect you as you explore these deeper dimensions of your existence. Most importantly, you've learned that the true value of Akashic wisdom lies not in impressive spiritual experiences, but in how you apply this guidance to create positive changes in your daily life. Every insight you receive, every pattern you heal, and every step you take toward greater soul alignment contributes not only to your own evolution, but to the healing and awakening of all humanity. Your Akashic records contain more than just information about your past. They hold the blueprint for your highest potential in this lifetime. They reveal the unique gifts you brought to share with the world, the specific ways you're meant to serve others, and the path that will bring you the deepest fulfillment and joy. This wisdom has been waiting patiently for you to remember how to access it. Starting today, you can begin developing your own relationship with your records through simple practices. Set aside time for regular meditation and intention setting. Begin keeping a journal dedicated to recording intuitive insights, meaningful synchronicities, and the subtle guidance that flows through your everyday experiences. Trust that these are often messages from your records available to you constantly, not just during formal sessions. Practice asking your records for guidance about small, everyday decisions before working up to major life choices. Notice how different options feel in your body. Pay attention to the synchronicities that follow certain choices, and observe how your life flows when you're aligned with your soul's wisdom versus when you're operating from fear or social conditioning. Remember that developing fluency in communicating with your records is a skill that strengthens with practice and patience. Some people connect easily from their first attempt, while others need weeks or months of consistent practice before feeling confident in their ability to receive clear guidance. Your timeline doesn't matter. What matters is your sincere desire to connect with your soul's wisdom and your willingness to keep showing up to the practice. The very fact that you've been drawn to this information about the Akashic records isn't coincidence. Your soul has guided you here because you're ready for this level of spiritual connection and growth. You're ready to move beyond living life by default and begin making conscious choices that align with your deepest truth and highest purpose. Trust the process completely, even when the guidance you receive challenges your current understanding or asks you to make changes that feel uncomfortable. Your records will never guide you toward anything that isn't ultimately for your highest good. Though the path of soul growth sometimes requires stepping outside your comfort zone and releasing attachments to how you thought your life should unfold. Take the first step today by setting a clear intention to deepen your connection with your soul's wisdom. Create sacred space in your life for this practice, whether that's 5 minutes of morning meditation or a weekly session of formal record access. Your commitment to this practice is a gift not only to yourself, but to everyone whose lives you touch. Your soul's wisdom is always available to you, patiently waiting for you to remember how to listen. The cosmic library of your experiences, lessons, and potential remains open 24 hours a day, ready to provide exactly the guidance you need for whatever challenges or opportunities you're facing. You are never alone on this journey. Your spiritual team, your soul's wisdom, and the infinite love of the universe surround and support you always. Thank you for joining us on this profound journey into the Akashic records. If this audiobook has resonated with you and opened new possibilities for understanding yourself and your life's purpose, please subscribe to the Audiobooks Library channel for more transformational content that bridges ancient wisdom with modern living. Remember, your soul's wisdom is always available to you. Trust the process of awakening to your true nature. Honor the unique journey your soul has chosen for this lifetime, and allow your inner light to guide the way. You came here with everything you need to fulfill your highest potential. Your Akashic records are simply one beautiful tool for remembering who you really are and why you're here. The journey of spiritual awakening is not a destination, but a way of being, a constant opening to the deeper truths of your existence and your connection to all life. May your exploration of the Akashic records bring you home to yourself and support you in sharing your unique gifts with our world that needs your light now more than ever.